Yeah, I'm in the Christmas spirit. I mean, why aren't you in the Christmas spirit? Let's talk to the director of the documentary Dear Santa. Oh my God. Yes. You know what? Yes, I'm in the Christmas spirit. I love the holidays. I decorate probably right before Thanksgiving. I like to throw up my decorations. Halloween, it's like a whole month-long celebration. But yeah, Christmas, it's the Super Bowl of holidays, and I am in the spirit. And I hope you are too, just in spite of everything that 2020 has thrown our way. Somehow the Christmas spirit prevails. I want to say, and I never say this, I want to say, please like the podcast, subscribe to the Film Threat podcast, like this video, share it if you like it. If you don't like this video, there are tons of other videos of interviews with independent filmmakers. We do them nearly every day. So I hope you check out other interviews on the Film Threat YouTube channel, or if you're listening to this on Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, whatever, I hope you subscribe and listen to those as well. I like to binge them. They're short. They're like little Christmas cookies. You can binge the episodes of the Film Threat podcast. I also want to ask you, because it is the holidays, to support Film Threat. How about buy something? You could get this shirt. This Film Threat Batman themed shirt. We even have, I don't have one right now, but we have the ugly Film Threat holiday sweater shirts in our shop. Go to shop.filmthreat.com. Check it out. Hope you do your holiday shopping there. But let's talk to the director of Dear Santa, Dana Nachman. Welcome to the Film Threat podcast. Thank you so much for talking to us today. How you doing?
Hi, I'm great. Thank you so much for having me.
I hope that my Christmas cheer is spreading. I'm sure you must be a fan of Christmas because you made a documentary about kids who send letters, Dear Santa. And I always wondered, when you write Dear Santa and you put Santa the North Pole, where those letters go. So can you tell me how your investigation of that turned out, and then what you discovered, which led to this really heartfelt documentary about this charity organization that surprises kids with presents, families that are struggling with presents over the holidays?
Yeah, sure. Yes, I love Christmas so much. And now I've gotten to have Christmas for this entire year because I've been working on this film since we last shot it. Today was actually a year ago was the first day that we shot. So, wow. So I've been having Christmas all year long. So about 8 years ago, I learned about this program that the United States Postal Service has. More than 100 years ago, about 107 years ago, the then Postmaster General had a meeting with Santa, of course, and said, we get a lot of letters to Santa and we can help you. And Santa said, sure, do that. So they've been helping Santa ever since. And so every year now, hundreds of thousands of letters get brought into the United States Postal Service. Some of them are just Santa on it. Some of them have an address in the North Pole. So they all get sent to a mailroom where they're dealt with. And as of a couple years ago, they started digitizing them. And so now all of the letters get digitized. Santa approved this, and now people can adopt them online. And it's perfect timing that the whole program is going digital this year because of COVID. They used to have it so in different cities you could walk in and read letters. And actually even last year, which you'll see in our film, they had it in New York and Chicago still. And New York's been going for almost the whole time of the 100 years. So now this year, very COVID friendly, everybody can read. And I urge everybody to read these letters. I think you can go on there now to their website and read letters from last year just to get a taste of it. But these letters are like the best thing you've ever read. I mean, some of them are super funny. Some of them are super sad. They really run any emotion that you might want to have. You will find them in the letters. So anybody can adopt them and send a gift or whatever the kid's asking for.
What is the website where you can find these letters?
It's USPSOperationSanta.com.
So just look up Operation Santa on the U.S. Postal Service website.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, I'll put the link in the description if you're watching this on YouTube for the actual website. I found this really fascinating because the letters that the families and people, you kind of follow different groups of people as they read letters, and then they start to adopt families, so to speak, families that are struggling. And these letters are incredible. And you in fact, a couple of the people adopt more than one family, right? I mean, that, as I've gotten older, I find it's way more fun to give gifts than receive. I get embarrassed when I get a gift like, don't make it. I got everything I need. I got, I'm surrounded in a room by like comic books and action figures. I have all the things I need. I don't need anything.
Me too.
Yeah, but it's so that sense of giving around this time of year. It's just that like annual reminder to be grateful for what we do have, and to be able to give back. How did you select the people that you followed? You follow a gay couple, and they are they adopt a family, and it's an amazing scene. You follow all different sorts of people. How did you find the people that you followed in your documentary?
So it all started and ended really with the letters. And as you can imagine, it was kind of a funny little behind the scenes thing that, so letters, most of the kids write letters around Thanksgiving through Christmas, right? So we were just like sitting, twiddling our thumbs, waiting for these letters to come in. And there are different buckets of letters basically that come in. And I was very interested with the bucket that was called special requests. So that was not like your Lego set or your typical toys or your iPhone. There were a lot of iPhones and Xboxes. So none of those. It was other things that were more interesting, more funny, more poignant, more, sad. Anything that was emotional, are always put in this special request bucket. So we were very interested in that bucket. And so then over time, the people who were sorting through got an understanding of what I was looking for. So every day they would kind of flag anywhere from like a couple to 100 letters for me and my team to look through. So then we would look through the letters. We'd say, yes, let's, we chose all the ones we wanted. And then the USPS would send an express mail letter out to the parents of Johnny. Your kid wrote a letter to Santa that came to the attention of a documentary filmmaker, Dana Nachman. Here's her phone number and her email address. If you want to hear more about her project, call her. So I was just like sitting by the phone, and we were like ready to go shoot, right? And so every day we were just sitting by the phone waiting for people to reach out to us. And so when they did, we would reach out to them, and then we would decide. We didn't know anything about these people other than the letter, which was really kind of interesting. And one of the goals we had was we wanted to showcase that these letters come from all over the country. So we really wanted it to be as geographically diverse as possible, but we couldn't control it. So in the end, it really was just the letters that tickled us and that excited us, and that's what we followed. And so it was quite a fun. It was like almost like a treasure hunt for the most compelling letters.
Well, it's so interesting to talk to you as a documentary filmmaker. There's so many. I feel so lucky that I get to talk to so many different types of documentary filmmakers. A lot of archival docs, music docs, whatnot. I mean, yours is sort of this time-sensitive doc, right? You've got this
so stressful, yes.
It had to be like, and it's also like, I mean, the holidays are stressful enough. I want to make a documentary during the holidays. I mean, that had to weigh on your family, I'm sure, a little bit. I'm sure they're very understanding, but I just was really struck by the letters, and then the ability for some of the people who were doing the giving got to witness the family actually receiving the gifts and the kids opening them up. That was just unbelievable. How did you manage all of that? Did you have different teams out in the field?
Yeah, we had to. And it was funny because part of this, like, it was a crazy endeavor, really. I mean, I think all filmmakers are a little insane, right? I mean, you know that more than anybody. But this was, I think we underestimated how hectic it was going to be. And last year, Thanksgiving ran the latest it could possibly run to Christmas. And so we had the shortest window between Thanksgiving and Christmas to shoot. And we didn't, sometimes things would come in like literally a week before Christmas that were so compelling, we had to run after them. So I think I was kind of, not dealing with the fact that I wouldn't be able to go everywhere, because I mean, I was shooting every single day between that time. And sometimes one time we had I thought we had 3 crews out, but we had 5 crews out. Like it was impossible while flying to keep track of who was where. So it was crazy. It was fun, crazy, and then at the end I was like, God, I don't if I need to, I don't think I need to travel anymore for a while. And then COVID hit, and obviously we can't go anywhere now. And so it was just crazy experience, but super fun. I mean, chasing letters and present givers all around the country. I mean, what could be more fun than that?
And it's I really like that your documentary is not just a really good Christmas documentary. I mean, some of these people who give the gifts, they have like these organizations that get together and they do it like it's almost like a factory type like of organization. I'm thinking like these people look like they're just doing what elves would do. I mean,
yeah. I mean, they incredible. Yeah, I mean, we had several scenes with people who had U-Haul trucks, right? At some point I was like, ooh, we should get some product placement from U-Haul. Like there was just like so many packages. I mean, it was crazy. I had no idea. We learned, I mean, this was a total fact-finding mission in real time, which you see directly in the film. Like we didn't know all this stuff was happening. And it was very hard to do pre-production on this because of the letters and because it was very difficult. And then, so we were just thrown in. It was so much fun.
Well, the results are great, but this is also not your first experience with making a documentary that involves charity. You made the documentary Batkid, and I want to say that I wear this shirt a lot. I want to say I planned this, but I didn't plan this. I'm embarrassed. I didn't realize that you had also done that film. Tell me about like, I just think that like documentary that has a sort of charitable element to it. I love that you have, as a filmmaker, a focus and a vision for the types of topics that you choose. Can you talk about Batkid a little bit, and then also about what goes into your thinking in terms of topics to cover?
Sure, and thank you. So I have always, even before Batkid, really, I don't know why, I think I gravitate towards stories of resilience. Like that's my overarching. And I think that, I've always kind of coupled with organizations and charities for some reason. I think because they're doing the good work, But when Batkid came, I was really looking for something. I had done 3 previous very dark and depressing movies. One about wrongful conviction, one about responses to terrorism, and one about chemicals that are in all of our products that are hurting us. And I was just kind of tired, and I thought that they were all really important, but it's hard to make them, your soul is in it. And then it's hard to get them out in the world. It's just hard. I mean, imagine doing a film like that this year when all they've experienced is hardship this year. So I was really looking for a turn to something lighter. And all of them are poignant, but I was looking for something lighter. And when I found out that a kid, his make-a-wish was to become Batman, not just, have a party about Batman, but to become Batman. And then all of San Francisco basically became Gotham City. And it was this huge cosplay situation. I mean, it was just so epic in its proportion that I was like, ooh, that's the kind of thing I want to make, And then once I made it, I mean, every day working on that film, much like this film, was just such a pleasure. It was so amazing to experience that kind of goodness in the world that I was like, ooh, this is the sweet spot that I like. And then my next film was called Pick of the Litter, about, so it did also focus on a charity, Guide Dogs for the Blind. That was a story that my mom had actually done. We followed a litter of puppies from the day they were born to if they became Guide Dogs for the Blind. And we were on this like 2-year odyssey with them. And that my mom had done that exact thing as a newspaper reporter. And so I was like, ooh, that's a good story for a newspaper, but even better film, much like this. And so I think, when you can get these poignant topics, like, Make-A-Wish, like giving kids with cancer or other diseases their ultimate wish, or Guide Dogs helping disabled people with, canines. I mean, when you can get these important stories, and philanthropy and humanitarianism in the kind of blanket of Santa letters, when you can do these things, you're getting all this entertainment, but you're also getting a great moral of the story. So that's like my sweet spot now. And I have to find my next one that'll do the same.
Well, I mean, documentaries, when you would say that to someone, it was almost be like saying, eat your vegetables, right? Like, you got to watch these documentaries. But documentaries become like, one of the most popular categories on Netflix, right? I mean, we've seen so many examples of documentaries blowing up. So I think that they're just all types. You can't say documentary. It's like saying animation. Animation is a way to tell a story, but an animated film can be anything. And same thing with documentary. It's the same thing. It's like that's a storytelling method, reality filmmaking, so to speak. But it encompasses all types of documentaries, things that are maybe eat your vegetables, a little bit of that, political documentaries, archival music docs, and charitable documentaries like at least your last three. I am curious to see what you're going to do next. I know that there are a lot of challenges for filmmakers now just because of COVID. I think end of next year is going to be looking good. If these vaccines roll out like they've been talking about. So I'm very hopeful. Yeah, fingers crossed, very hopeful. But yeah, like oh my gosh, like, and I've seen all these movies. The pick of the litter is just so, I mean, look, puppies, right? Like how could you go wrong with that? And you get to see them grow up, right? Which is like one of the fun parts of if you've been a pet owner and you've been fortunate to get a pet at the beginning when they are tiny, either a kitten or a puppy, it's the best to see them grow up.
Yeah.
But I want to mention Dear Santa is now out and available. It is from IFC Films. It's on iTunes, video on demand. You can just buy it, rent it, however you get your movies. I'm a fan of Vudu, and I've been doing a lot of Amazon Prime, renting movies on Amazon Prime. But that's the way to see it. So are you struggling right now to kind of find a new topic?
Yeah, I've been really busy with this film, but now I'm going to turn my attention. Usually, my last film, Pick of the Litter, it also got optioned to be a series on Disney Plus. And so I was one of the showrunners of that. So right when that was coming out, Dear Santa, I was shooting. So I didn't really get to do a lot of the press and do a lot of the outreach. So now I'm trying to really focus on this, but I do need my next film. Yes. Ideas welcome.
Great. Wow. Dana Nachman, it's such a pleasure to meet you and talk to you and be familiar with your work for years. And now we finally get to chat. This is great.
Thank you so much. Yes. I love your podcast.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, no, I want to thank our sponsor, Storyblock. Go to storyblocks.com/filmthread. All sorts of resources for creators, filmmakers of all types. We use Storyblocks at Film Threat. And Dana, thank you so much. You will come on the podcast again when you're done with your next movie in about a year.
I would love to.
I hope you do. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much for having me.